Alright, welcome back, good people. On this video, I'm talking about emotions. What are emotions? This week I've been doing videos on things that would cause you to think about starting a business, right? So when you're starting a business, these are some of the processes that would go into play. The video I just finished is called, What Are Your Thoughts? What are thoughts? Think about that. What do you think about? What are those? Another video I created was, what is fear? Think about your fear, not my fear. What are you afraid of? And the first video I created this week was, what are phobias? Although all those are in line with this video, what are emotions? So when you decide that you're going to start a business, there are going to be some emotions that come up, right? There are going to be some fears that come up. There are going to be some things that you're going to be afraid of along the way that you didn't know you were afraid of. Like maybe you did know, maybe like public speaking. That may be something that you get an opportunity to do. Let's say you start a blog, right? And a couple of people like your blog. They really like what you wrote down. They really like the way you, introduce what you know to the world. And they invite you to come and speak to their group, right? What do? Right? You're afraid to speak in public, but you didn't know that, right? Or maybe you don't know that, and you say, okay, sure, I'll come and speak. You get there and you get anxious, you get nervous, you start sweating, you can't understand what's going on. It's because you are afraid of speaking in public. It happened to me. It happens to a lot of people. A lot of people are afraid of speaking in public. But as I got more and more comfortable with it, it wasn't so bad. So I just started focusing on the message I was trying to get to from here to them, right? I want to make sure that when I left the event, they knew exactly what I wanted them to know. And I'd leave it at that. Whatever that was, however that felt, that was it, right? But, you get better with things. And that's the good thing about, doing something continuously, regularly. You get better, which separates you from the regular person, well, the layman, we call the layman, because you become an expert. You become really good at something, right? Let's say you wanted to do some auto mechanic work. I don't know too much about that, but let's say you like to do things like repair things like brakes. Okay, now there are a lot of things you can do to cars, but if you just want to specifically do brakes, you will have a number of people who have brake problems, right? Because that's what happens to cars. You don't have to repair the whole car, but what you do very, very well, which allows you to, have a process or a system that get people in, get people out, and you can charge for that system, right? That's the same thing with what I do in the consulting business. I help you set up your business based on what you like and what you want to have a business doing, sharing information about what it is that you want to learn or what you know. And that's very, very cool in the 21st century because, it can be done at home. It can be done at your pace, according to your schedule. You can just fit it in, right? And before long, it starts to generate a little money and you start to like the way it's feeling. And you'll say, well, maybe I should spend a little bit more time with this because I'm doing what I love to do and it's making some money, right? All right, so what are emotions? Bear with me here while I read this quick one page. Actually, it's a page and a line or two. What are emotions? A natural instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationships with others. What exactly are emotions? According to the book Discovering Psychology, an emotion is a complex psychological state that involves three distinct components: a subjective experience, a sociological response, and a behavioral or expressive response. These emotions can then be combined in a variety of ways. What are emotions and feelings? Feelings are mental experiences of body states which arise as the brain interprets emotions, themselves physical states arising from the body's response to external stimuli. The order of such events is: I am threatened, experiencing fear, and feel horror. Those are the three states. You feel threatened, you experience fear, and you feel horror. Right? All right. What are the 6 main emotions? Do you know? In the 20th century, Paul Ekman, E-K-M-A-N, identified 6 basic emotions: anger, disgust, fear, happiness, sadness, and surprise. Robert Plutchik, Plutchik, which he grouped into 4 pairs of popular opposites: joy and sadness, anger and fear, trust and distrust, surprise and anticipation. Now, are emotions and feelings the same? While emotions and feelings are quite different, we all use the words interchangeably to more or less explain the same thing: how something or someone makes us feel. However, rather think of emotions and feelings as closely related but distinct instances. Basically, there are 2 sides to the same coin. Are emotions caused by chemicals? Neurotransmitters and hormones such as dopamine and serotonin are chemicals that are involved in the process of feeling emotions. Millions of chemical reactions take place in the brain at any given time, and amygdala is usually associated with feelings of anger, fear, and sadness. What chemicals make you happy? You want to know that, don't you? The takeaway: there are 4 primary chemicals in the brain that affect happiness: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. By designing gamified experiences that activate these chemicals, you can increase your user happiness and loyalty. What is the chemical in your body that makes you sad? Notions that the brain is chemical soup, which not enough dopamine or too little serotonin contribute to severe depression, help pharmacologists design a series of antidepressants that work, although only in some cases. Now, who is more prone to depression, male or female? As noted in a recent blog, women are twice as likely to experience major depression than men. They are also up to 3 times more apt to suffer from anxiety disorders or to attempt suicide. I didn't know that. Next, what is sadness caused by? Sadness is a human emotion that all people feel at certain times during their lives. Feeling sad is a natural reaction to situations that cause emotional upset or pain. In this way, sadness differs from depression. Depression is a longer-term mental illness. And finally, why does stress cause weight gain? Wait, what? How did that get in there, right? Levels of the stress hormone cortisol rises during tension-filled times. This can turn your overeating into a habit because increased levels of hormone also help cause higher insulin levels. Your blood sugar drops and you crave sugar and fatty foods. That is how emotions work in the human body. So after understanding that little short 1 page, you can kind of get a feel of when you are going to be sad or what you're going through when you are sad, right? Because these are very important things to identify within yourself. Because I always share with people that our objective here on planet Earth, my 2 cents, is to understand self, to identify why you act like you act, why you respond the way you respond. Because that's your only point of power, your only point of control is you, nobody else. If someone comes in and shouts at you, curses you out, it's up to you how you respond, not them. They're doing what they do. It's how you respond that gets the result you want, right? Let's say that happens to me and I just stay neutral. Don't panic. Don't raise my voice. Then they have to switch what they're bringing. Because you can't keep doing it and not getting some feedback that's conducive to that, right? Because it throws you off. It's natural. It's the way it really works, but it's controlling you, identifying you, staying you, right? But many people are not really familiar with who they are because I believe because a lot of times what we've gone through in life has caused a certain amount of pain, a certain amount of discomfort, a certain amount of uncertainty, right? And we react differently because we are different. We are different. So what causes you to kind of go off the handle, I may just be able to blow it off. And what causes me to go off the handle, you might be able to blow it off. You might say, Larry, it's really not that serious. But to me, it really may be that serious, right? Not because it's that serious, but because it's to me, right? Sometimes you have to let things go, right? Sometimes you can't fight every battle that you're introduced to, right? Sometimes it's best just to let it go. One of the things I've learned, just a short aside, is that sometimes I was watching do some research this week, and I was listening to this person say, they said that sometimes you have to be thankful for the things that you didn't get, because sometimes the things that you wanted and it really hurt you not to get, those things sent you on another path, and that path was such a difference. It was really good for you, right? You may become extremely successful because you didn't get to be in that group or that organization. It made you go over here and do something different. And today, look at you, right? So think about that. Sometimes all bad things are not bad. Some things are not for you, period. Right? All right. Don't forget to like these videos, share these videos, and I'll see you on the next video.